So, in today's episode of Wow, What a Nothing Burger, Fox News is going out of their way to try to desperately distract their base away from Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein and talk about one of their favorite hits, Blame Obama. This is always the card that they're going to play because they know how much their base truly does hate Obama and how their base is absolutely excited about the idea of Obama getting put in jail. So if they can go back and try to accuse President Obama of something and tell the base Obama's going to stand trial, Obama's going to be found guilty of treason, Obama's going to rot in prison, if they can say things like that, they're hoping to stir that base up and distract the base from the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing because they're in a real pickle at the moment over at Fox News. That's because Trump is suing their owner, Rupert Murdoch, so they can't really talk about that. They don't want to talk about this Epstein thing because that's not looking good, so blame Obama is the best they can do. I want to show you this clip of Hannity talking with Tulsi Gabbard. The audacity that these two people have and the insult it is to intelligence everywhere. Take a look.
You have appointed, powerful bureaucrats that just flat out created a narrative that was false to undermine a duly elected president. Now, if that's not a grand conspiracy, I don't know what would be. Do you see crimes here?
I do, Sean, and I'm referring all of these documents that we have found and uncovered, referring them to the Department of Justice for further investigation. Accountability and action, not just investigation, but action. Accountability has to take place. The American people's ability to have faith and trust in the integrity of our democratic republic is literally what's at stake, and therefore the future of our ability to exist as the country that we know it. This accountability is critical to make sure that this never happens again. Exposing the truth and naming those who are responsible should drive that accountability that has to take place. I just want to...
You know, I do believe in accountability, and I have lost a whole lot of faith in the system since Donald Trump pardoned these people. Yeah, the audacity of Tulsi Gabbard and everyone at Fox News that is trying to focus all of their attention on this nothing burger of a story, it's so disgusting to me because we have wanted to see accountability. We've lost faith in the system, and they're the last people who should ever talk about accountability. They're the last people who should ever say that people's lost faith. We lost faith when we saw what happened on January 6th. And to try to accuse anyone else of treason and anyone else of a coup when you have that stain on your name and you have that stain on your ideology, there is no way in hell that I would ever take anything Tulsi Gabbard or anyone at Fox News says seriously. It's absolutely mind-boggling, but they know, hey, our base hates Obama, so give them what they want. The only problem with this is to say that Obama didn't accept the results of the election in 2016 is a BS, and I can show you why I know that. We're going to watch this one together, folks, and take a look at Obama's final press conference in December of 2016, what he says right here.
I can assure the public that there was not the kind of tampering with the voting process that was of concern and will continue to be of concern going forward, that the votes that were cast were counted. They were counted appropriately. We have not seen evidence of machines being tampered with. So that assurance I can provide. That doesn't mean that we find every single potential probe of every single voting machine all across the country, but we paid a lot of attention to it. We worked with state officials, et cetera, and we feel confident that that didn't occur and that the votes were cast and they were counted. So that's on that point.
So there's that. There he is saying the votes were counted, it was fair, Donald Trump is going to be the next president, and Obama actually sat down with Donald Trump and gave Trump the one thing that Donald Trump refused to give to Joe Biden, which was a peaceful transfer of power. Let's take a look at this.
My number one priority in the coming 2 months is to try to facilitate a transition that ensures our president-elect is successful. I have been very encouraged by the, I think, interest in President-elect Trump's wanting to work with my team around many of the issues that this great country faces. And I believe that it is important for all of us, regardless of party and regardless of political preferences, to now come together, work together to deal with the many challenges that we face. And in the meantime, Michelle has had a chance to greet the incoming First Lady, and we had an excellent conversation with her as well, and we want to make sure that they feel welcome as they prepare to make this transition. And most of all, I want to emphasize to you, Mr. President-elect, that we now are going to want to do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you succeed, then the country succeeds.
So there, folks, is the reasons why that you're not seeing a lot of Republican congressmen, you're not seeing a lot of Republican senators come forward and say, oh, let's jump on this Obama thing, because they realize there's nothing there to see. And the reason why that Fox News is talking about it is because Donald Trump is now suing their owner, and they can't talk about the Epstein case because it's making Trump look more guilty by the second, and they can't talk about him, suing their owner. So let's just play one of our old hits. Let's just try to blame Obama, and hopefully the flock will fall behind this. It's going to be very interesting to see where Fox News goes in the future. I've always wondered, and they just continue to get more extreme, more radical, and more delusional. Just when you think they'll never face accountability. By the way, you'll never see them come out and face any accountability whatsoever. They're the one that had to settle up a lawsuit because they lied to their viewers. And they're giving their viewers another big nothing burger. And there probably is some people out there who's holding on to hope, going, oh, wow, this is going to be the moment. This is what we've all been waiting for. We're going to see Obama put in jail. No, you're not. This is just another distraction to distract away from Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And it's becoming more and more obvious by the minute. I mean, you just see it more and more that they're trying so desperately to make it go away. And, Donald Trump definitely did. Alex Jones said he misread the room, and I hated to ever agree with Alex Jones. But Trump, for the first time, he really did just completely, misjudge his base. Usually he knows how to feed them. He knows what to give them. And this go around, it was like he just dropped the ball drastically. If this was his chess move, he completely screwed up, because when he said, well, it's a Democratic hoax created by the Democrats, even his most batshit lunatic cult member said, no, hold on a second. That's not what it is. So he lost their faith. And we have been trying for years to get them to open their eyes and see it. But they were never going to accept it coming from us. They just weren't. They've been trained and they've been groomed to hate people like us, to not believe a word that we say. There's a very good documentary. I know I'm always comparing this to cults and to the Manson family and things like that, but it's just because the parallels are just so plain to see. Actually, it's not a documentary. There's a movie. I think it's on Netflix, and it's called Charlie Says. And it's based on a true story. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. The acting in this movie is not the best. It has the vibe of almost like a made-for-TV kind of movie. It's not an over-the-top production or anything like that. I think there's some really good scenes in it. I think there's some really good moments in it. The girl that plays Leslie Van Houten, I thought, knocked it out of the park. But the concept is, there was a lady who was sent in. Once the Manson girls was arrested, there was a lady that was sent in to try to work to deprogram them. And what she would do is she would sit there and she would talk to them and try to show them where Charles Manson brainwashed them. And as she's sitting there talking to them, the girls would always come back and go, yeah, but Charlie says. And that's why the movie's called Charlie Says, because they have been programmed to believe that everything he told them was true. So they're sitting there listening to the Beatles and they think Helter Skelter is coming down, you know. And so this lady, as she's trying to deprogram them, keeps showing them the evidence, and they just keep reverting back to Charlie Says. And that is pretty much what it's been like this entire time, debating Trump supporters, because we show them, we try to point out to them what's happened, but it's always, well, now Trump said, well, it's Obama's fault. They're just preconditioned and trained and groomed to think that way. But when Donald Trump himself said it's a hoax and you're stupid and you're doing the work of the Democrats, when he lashed out at his own base, even they was like, wait a minute, this ain't, because it would be the same thing if Charles Manson had all of a sudden said, yeah, the Beatles weren't really talking to me. I never said the Beatles was talking to me. I never said Helter Skelter was a race war coming down. I never said that. If he'd have did that, the people standing there holding the knives would have been like, wait a minute, you did tell us that. What's going on? So what actually had to happen was Trump had to say it to the base. We could say it all day. They're never going to listen to us. But I think there's a lot of people out there on their side now that's really, you know, I hate the phrase come to Jesus moment, but that's kind of where they're at. They're just kind of at that moment. And as Fox News tries to distract and throw them all these things, I mean, there might be part of them going, yeah, I would like to see Obama arrested. But deep down, they know it's nothing. And deep down, they know it's a distraction. And so all we can do, folks, is keep pushing forward and keep trying to cover these stories. I'm telling you, it's like having a full-time job plus 2 part-time jobs on the side to keep up with Trump and Epstein. And there's so many. I look at it this way. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk about what I've seen, because I'm not Aaron Parnas sitting here breaking the news to you. I'm reacting to the breaking news. So if I don't get to every single thing, I just look at it like, hey, you know what? Luke Beasley will knock it out of the park, or Adam Mockler will grab that one, or Texas Powell will grab one. It's like, sometimes I'll hear their take on a certain angle and I'm like, I'm just going to let them have that one, because there's just too much to try to take on at one time. But I truly do appreciate y'all's support here on the channel, and we will keep pushing forward and fighting the good fight.